Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. Now, this is going to be a weird video because I had a few things that have kind of sat on me these last few days, and there is actually kind of a story to this all, where I got in my very first ever VTuber drama. I got called out on Twitter, and although it wasn't like anything insane and really bad or career ending, I do want to go sit on it a little bit. Like, there was a little bit of a back and forth, and it was actually in response to one of my videos I made. Now, if you guys haven't had a chance to see, or you guys are brand new, or this is your first time even watching this channel, I am a main YouTuber already, and I've done Twitch. I've been a Twitch partner for like 13 years. So I've been around the block. I have a bunch of VTubers, and I do have my own VTuber model that's already done. It's adorable. And like, in my mind, I was thinking, I kind of like the VTubing world. I see all these Google Docs nonstop, and especially in the Cinder situation, I hyper fixated so hard. I went through all the Google Docs. I saw them a few months ago even, and it was just a very intriguing thing to discuss, like the psychology behind it and all. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you guys so much. It's actually been a blessing to even have you guys here and subscribing and all this stuff. I never would have thought I would be randomly doing this. But that doesn't make me able to kind of make whatever I want to make, although I am new and there is I can easily use that as an excuse. One big thing I always kept on preaching on the whole Cinder situation especially, and a lot of other various things, accountability. You need to know when you went too hard, when to kind of take a step back, when to kind of self-reflect, and when to properly apologize. And I'm going to go be linking someone's channels down below. And this is the person who I got in beef with, or the crazed Cinder viewer, or whatever word we want to go use. In theory, it's all like, clickbaity a little bit. But I'm going to link all their channels down below. Their name is Comrade, and I'll be honest with you guys. Like, this is not for hate. This is not like, oh, send them angry messages. No. If I had this like kind of somewhat unique blessing of a time to have some people on my, I guess my content, and I don't know how long you guys are going to be here for, who even knows? Or I might just even do something stupid and get myself canceled. Totally fine. If I deserve it, please do it. Just never be like one of those, like if you guys ever sub and join this community, don't be like, oh my God, wow, you sneezed wrong or something. Like, let me make mistakes or let me have some takes you disagree on. Just don't be one of those people that try to like control me and be crazy, But if I deserve accountability, please do. And that's what I'm trying to go take right now. It's because I think I maybe misstepped a little bit. So I made all these videos discussing Cinder, and it's been, I do want to say it's fun. It's people's life though. There's a lot of drama to it. Like someone like Cinder or Bao and stuff, it's always hard to call it fun because it's not fun for them. It's not fun for the people involved. But I do enjoy the psychology of it all and seeing like the reactions of all these situations. But we noticed one thing. This is why I do want to give a big proper apology to my first ever VTuber drama, to Comrade. Because Comrade over here is a smaller VTuber. The little smaller content creator. They made a call out post for Rima. Rima was doing what I was kind of doing, and there's been a lot of testiness everywhere. Back and forth, just problems, people are saying this is good, or like Shalily's good, or Cinder's good, or she doesn't deserve it, or whatever it might be. I'm sure you guys have seen the comments, or subscribers, or whatever. Just a lot of VTuber stuff, So they made a comment over here calling out Rima. Being like, hey, what was up with that in your stream? I understand that we may disagree on some aspects of the drama, but that was a bit rude. No. Was in your chat, politely and civilly discussing things with the other chatters. No insults, no arguments, no harassment, just talking things with chat and commenting on what you were talking about. And as well as the first time they ever really talked on their Twitch channel. And then they made a comment discussing stuff and then started insulting Comrade themselves. Saying, they're schizo harasser and all that. They took it to Twitter. Now, if you got more of the full on context, I still think, correct me if I'm wrong, and I think some of my critiques still stood, but I talked to them. And they had a very nice back and forth. And this one I'm kind of making this video to highlight that communication, like a mutual understandings and a mutual respect on a discussion can go a very long way. To the point where it's unheard of. To the point where I am extremely happy with, if this was my first ever hater, quote unquote, when they weren't even really that much of a hater, they're just kind of discussing with me, this is a blessing. As a content creator, especially on Twitch, I've had people who go and make alt accounts, spam your email up to random weird Christians only mingles to spam your stuff. You've had people who go and make fake Discord profiles trying to scam you users. You can have horrible haters that are hyper obsessed, view botting you, just rating you, racist names, whatever it might be. Especially in the VTubing world, you've seen Google Docs everywhere. People go all over the place. So I made a video on this. A few days ago, you can look it up. I think it's still on my channel. I feel like I should keep it up there. And I was like, yeah, this is a little too much. They're calling them out, Rima. They got banned in the chat. It kind of seemed like they did go and kind of interact with Nanolist at the time and critique Nanolist. So in my video, and I do stand by it, and I think they did too. It was a little one of those heated moments at the end of the day. It is what it is. I've had this. I literally crashed out on someone on Twitter the same day. I was a double crash out between both me and Comrade and some other person. But the other person was a narcissist loser, so I didn't feel bad about that one. This one, Comrade and me came into a great understanding, and that's why I'm even linked them down below. If I could do something nice and spread a little bit of positivity, that would be my goal on this YouTube account. Like, that's my goal as a VTuber. I don't want to step into the VTubing sphere acting like I know everything, and I don't want to go and step in the VTubing sphere before my model's even made, pretending that I'm like this bearer of like, oh, I've been in Twitch for so many years. Yeah, so have other people. And so are there other content creators who have different memories, and maybe, you know, maybe it's hard for them to know how to address this stuff. I am not like some messiah over here. I'm some random dude who barely, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll be honest with you guys. That's why I'm surprised anyone's even subscribing. Thank you. Anyway, they made a call-out post on Rima being like, I thought this was fine, we were discussing things, and I thought that they made a comment towards Nanolist themselves, which got them banned. There's like a little bit of like how I would do stuff. I probably wouldn't ban him. I said in my video, you know, if Rima just didn't want to go and have them interact anymore, maybe they overstepped, you know, maybe you gotta just respect it. And they, believe it or not, in the god golly graces of the internet, this never happens. Oh, like, oh my god, so I even make a video on this. They understood what I was saying. And we talked it out. Like, oh my god, do you have any idea this entire, like, Cinder conversation, these backhand things and gossip? You know how much in the VTubing world this is a rarity, bro? So I gave him my honest critiques. Like, you know, maybe a little too heated, or you took it to Twitter and put extra heat. There's thousands of people. It's like a very touchy situation, you know? And they were more of a Cinder fan. I think Cinder's done very well. Like, I think she took a little accountability. She needs to prove it more. I've said this a lot of my videos. But they were a Cinder fan. And like I said, they took it a little too hard. I stand by that, and I think they would too. Like, I've done the same, or like you're like in a little heated argument with your friend, and then 3 hours later, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, a few hours later, like, yeah, I overstepped a little, my bad, are we good? Yeah, we're good. You know, I play a video game, I play League of Legends, I'm playing with my buddy, and things go bad, and like we don't talk for like 2 hours, and be like, hey, my bad. And you just go and queue again. That's just life, it's just the world. You know, test these things, like politics, whatever, it does get a little heated at times. So I understood where they're coming from. You know, they're like, what do you do? Like, they didn't want to get banned on the community. So I made a video on it. And that's where I kind of apologize for. I'll go through my apologies a little bit more. Because I individually called this person out. And do I think they deserve some critique? Yes. But they're also a normal person. And that's one thing I kind of picked up on this all. Because, like, they're trying to do this type of stuff. And look how cute. They even made a little Cinder, like, Digimon. Like, this is adorable. Like, this is the type of person I was calling crazed. Like, I think it's cute, you know? I think it's a cute thing. But anyway, they made all these call-outs, and they discussed this, and they said they might disagree, and some other various things, which I think would be over here. But even throughout this all, they said, hey, like, you know, just, it makes me look bad if you guys are calling her out or harassing her. Like, this is mature. This is smart. And they even said over here, too, VTubers continue to solidify their reputation of mean girls in high school drama, which I agree on. Like, a lot of this stuff can be petty at times, which is why it's sometimes fun to talk about. But if some individual person's getting hurt on this at the end of the day, it sucks. Seems to be a when you are online and no one will hold you accountable. No, it's more because I'm a small VTuber that's easier to bully. And that's what I kind of feel like I did. Am I going to do about it? The most I can do is just make a Twitter post. I thought the Twitter post was a little extra. And if I banned someone in my chat and I made a Twitter post about it, I would still think it's a little extra. I even said I thought it was a little much, you know? Or if you would, like, sometimes you don't always have the time to do like a multi-paragraph essay to respond to someone, or sometimes someone has like 1 point, and as a streamer or content creator, you have to move on. Like, I've had this before. Like, someone's still engaged with that fight with you, and you gotta be like, hey, we gotta move on. Like, just not to fully say that they did anything wrong. Like, I think they were just trying to, you know, say their opinion and be like, hey, I thought we were discussing stuff. It's okay. Like, this is not a big mistake. It's not even anything that bad, you know, at the end of the day. But they were kind of more sad because they were like, hey, man, you know, like, she'll never behave in a similar manner. Like, I felt bad about it. So anyway, I made this video discussing it all, being like, hey, you were a little uppity. You kind of were talking about Nanolist a little bit too much. I stand by it. I think they would too. It's like, it's a little too much. But I've done it. I've done it myself. I'm sure you guys have too. On a Reddit post, you start yapping, or you got a tweet, like you're back and forth 15 times. You argue with your mom, your brother, sister, your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. It happens. It's just humans. Like, it's not bad. I don't think it really deserved a full-on call-out video. And I'm sure I'll make videos like that in the future, or find some crazy stuff, and I'll highlight it. Yes, like, I will do that again. Not in the mean way. But anyway, they made this post. Say, am I moving up in the VTubing world? Someone literally got an entire video featuring me. This was me. This is where the drama starts. Hey, thanks for the shout and everything, but I simply have to point out that you're basically doing the same thing that Rima did. At least you didn't resort to alt-right name calling. Almost. Considering the misleading title of your video and the content itself, which is why I'm writing to you as well. So, they call me out. And this is where I say accountability takes a little bit of a step. Because I'm new to this stuff, and this is why I want to even give like an apology. Because this person was in a weird spot. I don't fully agree with what they did. But like I said, I've done the same. Like, I've literally, the same day I was crashing out on someone on Twitter, you know, it was something in the air, the retrograde or something, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. But like they're like just mad. They're like, hey man, like you just went a little too hardcore in the title, which it was a little hardcore. I usually make my titles for fun, you know, at the end of the day. My main channel, I have all caps everywhere. But it's fun. They were like, it's ironic what you talk about in the video, and yet you resort to completely misrepresenting this situation, being borderline slanderous against me. Calls me a craze watcher and make me look like I was some kind of stalking harasser. But you know what I mean. It's outright funny how you're talking about how we should all take a step back, chill, and realize we're all people at the end of the day, while with the same breath completely misrepresenting what happened to make me look bad. And call me crazy over being able to write a lot. Wanting to properly express myself in writing and say exactly what I want to say without needing to limit myself and omitting information. I don't think that there's a lot to say. Basically for them, they were not being a crazy stalker. They were not doing anything that hardcore. And I explained to it, you'll get to it in a second. I even told them, I'm like, you know, it's just a little too much. You know, not everyone wants to go through, like, this is a lot. This is all to me, you know, this is all to me. It can be a lot, and not everyone, especially if you guys are streamers or, you know, engage with stuff. Sometimes you're just like, it's a little much, but it doesn't ever take away, and I've said this to them, doesn't take away from what they can say, doesn't take away from, you know, they want to express themselves. And if someone makes a literal video about them, which I did, which I, you know, I'm sorry for, like, who wants to wake up and have a random VTuber gossip channel on your butt? Not me, not me. I felt bad, you know? I felt bad. Now, do think doing big Twitter call-outs and stuff and get a little heat on these discussions or being mad you got banned in a Twitch chat, yeah, it's a little much. But once again, I've done crazy crash out things myself. So that's why I'm trying to keep it, remind that people are real normal people. Like, where else do you go? What else do you do? Like, and sometimes you get just frustrated, you know? It happens. It totally happens. So yeah, I feel bad. Because I made a whole video on the guy, so obviously respond back. That's what you should do. That's how communication should always be. And it kind of ramped up for no reason. I wasn't sure if it was a good video topic or not. I thought, so basically the high level for me is I told them all, I was like, hey, I thought it was like a representation of what's going on, you know? It was a good thing to remind people that sometimes content creators like a Nanolist, Cinder, or, you know, Shy Lily, they'll be out and about. They're going to be doing stuff. You'll see them at a con. You'll see them tweet. You'll see YouTube videos, and even maybe collab with other folks out there. And it's going to happen. So I kind of use them as like a stepping board to remind folks in the creator sphere to kind of take a step back. You know, if you see a Nanolist in the channel, even if you disagree with them, you don't have to like at them and harass them or whatever it might be. Same with the Cinder, same with them. You see these people in public, please treat them with respect. They're still normal people. Don't harass them or hurt them. And even Comrade, this person was very respectful. I'll get to it more. They were very respectful. It's one of the nicest dialogues I've had in the VTubing sphere. But like they're just defending themselves. And what is wrong with that? And I do think I overstepped a little bit, so I do apologize. You know, I think I made the title a little bit too clickbaity and put them a little too hardcore. I use them as like a reference point. And no one really wants to be like the, hey, don't make sure you're not crazy. Hey, make sure you're not like whatever. Because even though I disagree with like, you know, ramping stuff up, they kind of agree. They're like, yeah, maybe it was a little much. And guess what? That's it. Problem solved. And I said, yeah, I probably shouldn't have went and made a crazy video on you. Problem solved. You know, like just talk it out. Like treat people like, you know, people too as well. Well, basically they had a few comments. You know, they only called out Nano twice. They made a comment for it. Nano even blocked them too as well. And then same with Rima too. They didn't really act with them that much. And they did go and throw, you know, some critique on them and all that type of stuff as well. So it's a little bit too, like, you know, he's just being like, yeah, I've done a little bit, but it's nothing crazy, you know, nothing bad. And the reason why they were mostly upset was that Rima called them out. They recognized them and then hurled insults at them more with that. Like, that's more the issue with them. Like, they probably recognized, like, yeah, maybe, you know, I made a few comments here and there or whatever. It's totally fine. You know what I mean? And they said, the only reason I'm writing to you, though, to give you credit, you didn't outright openly insult me. And they thought I'd kind of represented them, too, as well, with a video title and thumbnail, too. And this is kind of nice. They said, I'm not going to demand you take down the video or anything silly. I'm not going to ask you for an apology, as by now I've learned that asking a bigger content creator to take accountability and apologize is like asking water from a rock. You know what I mean? And they're like, they feel bad, you know, like they're like, you man, like I'm another streamer. You think you're blessed to be able to provide information. And I agree, dude. I've been here for like 3 weeks, man. I've been here for 3 weeks. This is a wake up call. And I might be overly yapping. I don't know if anyone's going to sit here and watch this whole video, but this is like, if you had to go and say, like I said, a proper call out. I have seen people have their careers ended by making a crazy mistake, having an ego, not being able to go take accountability. And you had to put someone like yourself in someone else's shoes. And I thought this was very nice, you know? And I'm not a fan of Rima. I've never interacted with Rima too as well. And I agreed on the Cinder drama, you know, actually, funny enough. Like I said, you'll definitely fit in with the other drama VTubers, though, that's for sure. So even on his little first comment, it got nicer and better. He's like, hey, at least you'll fit in. So I got you guys. I got you. But no, I feel like, I was like, ooh, yeah, I saw this. And I was like, ooh, maybe I did overstep a little bit, Like, no one wants to wake up and see their tweets when they got banned in another person's stream, getting called a crazy Cinder viewer. And if I put that in my title or something, it'll be like a quote or whatever, because the guys seem pretty normal, so I'm linking them down below. Check them out. Like, this was a nice exchange. I mean, it's a little heated now, don't get me wrong. I don't really like drama, which is why I'm not even sure why I'm here. But I saw this, and I were given a response, and I was like, hey, man, I appreciate the comment. I'm sure if you want to respond. And kind of what I already explained before, but it's all right to make comments and discuss things. Like, I don't think it's bad if he's talking in people's chats. He's being respectful and chill. But I was kind of maybe saying like, hey, maybe people just don't want to deal with like a book. Like it was a lot. But like, look at me, I wrote a lot too. It's like I'm a two peas in a pod. That's why I kind of relate to the person. I'd rather say my meanings and elaborate so people know. And that's what they do. We kind of got, like I said, you know how much of a rarity this is? Like, to find someone who's nice. Most people just say F you and move on. Like, thank you. Like, this guy's nice. This guy's cool. So I was like, yeah, maybe just don't want to hyper overly engage, because sometimes that happens in chat. I've had to ban people who just don't drop stuff, even you ask them to, or they go a little too far. Not saying they did, but like, I've had this experience. Or, what happens? I'm like, I probably wouldn't ban you. I enjoyed the discourse and opinions. That's why I'm in this video right now. Because I like when people can talk and communicate and everything. Like, if this is my first hater, this is one of the best haters I could ever have. Like, this is awesome. And I was like, I think I stand by my comments. Kind of discussing, like I said, like there's going to be Nano and Cinder. You're going to see them in public and Twitch, YouTube videos, collabs, whatever. And it's okay if people take a step back from it. Like, this is a heated drama and everyone knows about it. But like, if you see them in there, don't harass them, don't hurt them, don't be mean or make like, call out videos hardcore, or show up at their houses and being like, I demand you apologize to Cinder. I didn't say they were doing that, but like, that's something to note, like kind of using them as a springboard to bring up the topic. That should be okay. Because I have had a lot of my own VTuber friends stalked, get harassed. I myself have been in my streamer friends, like female streamer friends channels, and I'll go and like say hi. I'll hang out and I'll have like their mods maybe sometimes go and harass me, or their VIPs. One of my really good friends had a VIP where every single time I talked in their channel, they would make fun of me subtly. And it was weird. It was just strange. Like, no matter what I say, I'd say like hi, like I'd have a private conversation with her and like bring it up in her chat because I'm just saying hi. And this person would like make comments on that, and they would like harass me. Or if I type something wrong, like, cause I'm just typing really quickly between like a game or something to my friend, they would like make fun of me to the point where she had to call them out in the channel on how they were acting towards me. Like, people get crazy, like people get obsessive. And at the end of the day, they wanted to go and date her. They wanted, like, this is all funny drama. There's always something in the VTubing world. But like, basically they wanted to date her. They said like, hey, I want you to like date me. I have feelings for you. This random VIP parasocials, all heck dude, who was harassing me in the chat because I'm just hanging out talking to my friend. To the point where she's like, no, not at all. Like, I am not no, just absolutely not no. And they just kept on going. Like they would have like little game nights. They were there 24/7, just sitting there, like basically following around in like a repo and all that. Or like other people try to talk to her and they'd try to like chime on him. Or they'd send the messages nonstop asking like, what is wrong? What's going on? How are you doing? Hello, hello, hello. To the point where she got uncomfortable. And eventually when she turned him down, they went and started lying to other streamers saying that they rejected this lovely woman who I could sit there and tell you they would have been completely out of their league. This woman's one of the nicest, best women I've ever spoken to in my entire life. Absolute joy, pretty in real life, like cute voice, everything, cream of the crop woman who like just streams for, like, they just did like a charity stream. I don't want to mention their name, but like one of the best people out there. And this person then was like, oh my God, I rejected them. They're a high schooler. They're a loser. And you have all these crazy people who get like, they will literally message your friends, message other people to try to like, do this weird parasocial, like, I'm better than them. They're horrible. Like, they start narratives and they set stuff out. It's crazy. So you just always have to be careful about that. And this person did none of that. They were just saying their opinion and they were just talking about how they like Cinder. There is nothing wrong with that. This is why Comrade's chill. But I was just kind of saying like, hey, like there can be people who take things too far, who show up outside people's houses. I have streamer friends who have had their like stalked by haters. They get banned. They'll like send hate mails and like proper mail like to their house in PO boxes. It's nuts. Like someone I know got sent a dead skunk in the mail. It's horrible. It's crazy. But anyway, I was like, yeah, I don't think you're bad. Like, if anything on your video, I think all your points can be valid, as I reference the video. But like, I was like, sometimes it might be a little much. Like, calling someone out on Twitter, even though you feel cited, or like a big post like this, is a little much. But like, look at me. I literally typed him a book. Like, bro, like I'm making a video. Like I'm too much too. I'm too much too. And that's like just the point of being a human, the point of being a human. And I was just like, hey, I thought you maybe tagged her in the, I thought you tagged Nanolist in the chat and kind of called her out when you said it. If I was wrong, let me know. I'd apologize for sure. But I was like, I thought there was a little different between openly discussing someone like in a video or like a tweet versus like you see them in a Twitch chat and tagging them. I'm still not sure if that's exactly what happened, but anyway, it's water underneath the bridge. Like most people are moving on. So I don't really do this as a job. I'm just kind of doing for fun. Like critique me all you want. And even for you guys on my channel, I don't mind. It's all drama slop. It's kind of drama slop. But that's why we're here. I enjoyed the drama. And I'm like, yeah, just a running gag. If you guys ever look at my main YouTube account, everything I do on my main scrubbing YouTube I've made thousands of videos. I'm at like 6,000 YouTube videos. Every single one of my random constantly videos over here, dude, are just all caps. Like, it's bonkers, dude. Like, this is a running inside joke from years ago. Like, every single thing is basically just like here's Evan, bro. Everyone is like, I had Evan join my video and gave me a little give him a little shout out because I love Evan, dude. Like, like you see, like everything is like the most crazy clickbait ever, bro. It's like, it's nuts. It's absolutely nuts, dude. I don't know. So it's just like part of the thing, like I'm just making clickbait stuff. It's not my job. I'm just having fun. But I can see why if someone's like clicking on a video, if it's an individual person, it gets crazy. It's an individual one person and you're like, this person's crazy as all hell, bro. Oh, look at crazy. And you wake up and you're like, wait, bro, what? I got banned in a chat. I just complained. Like, I don't think I'm crazy. So I get it, like I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. Because there's a reality that there's real people. Same with me. There's real people behind the VTuber avatars or on the Twitter comments and stuff. And some people are absolutely idiots. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some stupid people online throughout my years as a streamer, YouTuber. I'm talking dumb. I'm talking, I don't know how they even graduated 6th grade dumb. Comrade's not one of these people. Comrade's cool. I basically was like, hey, just maybe a little weird on public callouts. Just maybe ramped up a little too much. You're not crazy. You're not like psychotic. You're just, just a passionate. I think I said before, you're passionate. And that was about it. I was like, hey, yeah, you're just a little bit involved. And, I'm also not a fan of analysis actions, which is true. But I thought there was a time and a place, for critique. And I was like, yeah, everything you said to me in my first ever quote unquote VTuber hater, is I respect the time for you to do it. Like they were nice, they were polite, and they still had a little oomph to their comment. But like, duh, I just made a YouTube video calling him out. Like, I mean, yeah, if anything, he was being really respectful to me. And I was like, no, I thought your comment over here is all good faith. So you don't seem horrible, just maybe more passionate. And I did maybe go a little bit on the sensationalism. That'll probably happen again on the channel. It's part of the bit, part of the run. I don't want to do it for mean, but it's different if it's one person versus like a Cinder who's used to it. Like, if you're a smaller content creator, you're probably not used to this. You're not PR trained. If people call me out, I'm like, yeah, another day. But if you're someone who's just doing it for fun, small, you don't have an audience behind you, it's a lot different, and that's where I apologize on, because it's like, I just kind of self-inserted myself for a video. It's stupid. I don't know, my bad. I'll mess up again for sure. I'll do probably similar stuff like this for sure, but I just want to make sure I don't usually overstep. But I was trying to be like, hey, like, just in case people don't want to, engage further, don't mind that, don't take that bad. Or like they're done. And if you make a long post, they might think like, oh, that's like, it's a little extra. That's why I banned you, And I think they kind of all got that. I was like, hey, thanks so much. Like, you were kind of cool, and I don't mind like everything you had to say. And this is where it got a little bit better, because their comment that they said to me was very sweet. And this is where I think the combination kind of happened. Don't worry, I know it's a longer video, but it's like a stepping stone, I don't know how long I'll be here or if I'll even be a good VTuber. But like I said, I want to step on into this properly and not do it wrong. And they respond over here. It's a very nice response. The fact that you even bother to respond is already earning you a lot of respect from me. And everything he said to me, respect back. Most VTubers and content creators will never respond to someone they don't consider worth their while. Everyone is worth their while. Besides when your IQ is like 5. There are some idiots out there, I gotta be honest. But if you have a brain, you're emotionally intelligent, you like enjoy this type of content, or you're just, a little passionate, I think it's worth it. I think you should always say it. And they even kind of called out Rima. Like, I've never seen Rima's content, not once, I'll be honest with you guys. But they said that was nice, that they told me, I said I had integrity, like, you have integrity yourself. Like, thank you for even like doing this. As I said in Rima's post, this wasn't an issue of me being banned. It was more so the community. And she can have whoever she wants in it. So then basically saying, like, if you want to ban me, that's fine. Respect. Accountability. Awesome. Were the insults really necessary? Had I just been banned without her saying anything, I would have had a laugh and moved on. But they more still felt slighted because of the attack. You know, that's why they wanted to respond. Instead of it being like a weird, like I got banned, whatever, which that's kind of what I thought. Like I got banned and that's rude. I called out Nanolis, whatever. But no, they were more upset because as they got banned, they're like, you're a freak. And then they got double whammied on me. Now, like I said, I do kind of stand by. Sometimes the ramp up's a little hard, but what do they really do? You know, what do they really do? It's kind of like a rat backed in a corner or a dog backed against like in the cage. Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, hey, yeah, it was maybe a little much. And they said, yeah, but I was attacked and you were silence. And the only reason I tagged her is because it was very much personal attack on me. That's fair. That's fair. Was I tagged you because the entire video was about me? Yeah, I don't mind. That's cool. I don't mind at all. Like, it's cool, totally cool. Like I said, for me, I don't mind discourse. I don't mind people doing stuff. As long as it's not like crazy, like, you know, I don't mind. I don't think you're crazy. It's more the matter of principles. Everyone has the right to defend themselves, and the person and their reputation is being slandered. Agreed, and that's why I'm apologizing, because I don't want you to think people think you're crazy, you know? Like, let it go follow the guy. Like, they seem nice. Like I said, for VTuber drama, this is like cream of the crop. You guys have large communities. I think I'm a tiny, I mean, maybe on my main YouTube, for some odd reason, people are watching videos here. I don't know why. I'm thinking it's just the Cinder algo, bro. I don't know if people are gonna stick around. I hope you guys do. Like, I would love it, but like, I just randomly here. Like I've had views for like 3 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing. Twitch, I have a lot of followers, but I've just been on Twitch for like 13 years, you know? Like, I just stream for fun. You guys have a large communities, and I think sometimes people your size just forget how much influence you really have. So, Rima basically slandered me in front of 2,000 people. So that's 2,000 people who now think I'm sort of a crazy stalker when I'm not. I don't think he is. And on top of your community now, and that's like 100 times the amount of people in my community who now think I'm some sort of And you are not. That's why I'm making this video, because imagine all of this. Like, it's 26 minutes in. If anyone makes it this long, props to you. But like, you are not. For a lot of small content creators, it can be really damaging and harmful. The general callousness of which is usually done is also very discouraging too. And I agree. So I give him a proper apology to his face. But I'm making this video for this. Because I do apologize, truly. Because if you're not used to this, like you're not living this drama, you're not making videos, you're not like, you don't have like this hardened skin, like this thick skin, which I've gotten. Like I still get hurt. People can leave mean comments on YouTube or Twitch. And dude, I've had times where I cry after a stream. Like people are too mean and it sucks. So, and I'm used to it, which is kind of a sad thing to say. I hope you guys are always nice to me, but you know, it's like a hard thing to kind of deal with. So imagine you're not used to it. You see a video, you have to go to work and you're like, wow, this video is getting views and people think I'm crazy and all I wanted, like I was getting like called out before, like I'm like, they feel like a victim. Not about pressure on Rima, because I don't still know the full situation, but I know the situation from me. Yeah, it sucks. Like people are like obsessive and downright stalkers. They kind of agree. And this is what I was saying. They agreed that some people can be too stalker and can be stalkerish and obsessive over just disagreements, you know? And they themselves have had the same issues, you know, come and harass and insult me on every post because of the stance on this drama. Because I think they were more on the Cinder side, me too. People really do need to take a step back and chill. Like, see, they agree. Accountability. That, yeah, it might get a little crazier. Maybe even we got a little crazy. Accountability. The biggest thing I keep preaching on this channel and content and everything, even the Cinder drama. Accountability. And they took it. They acknowledged it. They acknowledged that, yeah, I went maybe a little too far. And what I don't appreciate is me being used to represent those issues when I, in fact, had never engaged in that kind of behavior. You've essentially attached my face as a representation of the individuals when describing the issue, the kind of individuals who, for example, have been calling Nano the vilest names or telling her to off herself. What I said to Nano, all the 2 posts, is the least offensive of scratching of the bunch. I think his comment was calling out Nanolis, discussing that, like, hey, you should have accountability and not screw over other artists, which is the big deal of the drama. Now, do I think that he should be saying this to her individually? Still no. But I've made a bunch of videos discussing it all, you know what I mean? It's not that much different. It's not that much more different. So yeah, and they said, what's done is done. I made this post basically clearly airing my name. Your points you made are valid and correct. Like, he even said to me, my points are valid and correct. In the mix of this back and forth, you know, like, that's so nice. They have very solid points too as well. They just didn't want to get called a crazy person. And I don't think they are. They seem very nice and very, like, respectful and emotionally intelligent. Like, this is a hater or drama is beautiful. Like, it's weird to say, but like, I've had, like, if this is my first instance of the VTubing world, I want to be here. I want to interact with people like this. Like, if my haters were like this, I would cry I married a hater, bro. Like, they're awesome. Like, this is very nice. It's just when you that you pick the worst person to represent them as an example, when you the people who are actually harassing them going around, basically saying like, hey, there's other people who could have used. Why do you pick me? And that is true. Like, I've seen some crazy comments calling out Cinder, even calling out Shy Lily. Bao somehow got yelled at, and she did nothing here. And they just want to have an explanation on Rima's toxic behavior too as well, you know. And that was it. He's just like, you saw the chat logs. I shouldn't have had Rima call me out. The big issue over here for him is just that Rima called him out. And I sat there and wanted to give a proper response. This is almost done. But I gave him like a hey. And this is, I also said I was going to make this video. Hey there, first of all, do you want to start off with an apology and after sitting on this all? And I've kind of touched on this, but I was like, my main channel and all the other VTuber stuff is just broad. You know, Xbox sucks. Gamers hate Xbox. Xbox Game Pass price increase. Cinder, oh my god, VTubers are nutty. And like, you throw a few suggestions and stuff and out there. But people are used to it. Or like, Xbox doesn't care if I really make it, like, personally don't care. So I was like, yeah, I don't, you know, I may not, you know, I partially agree with some of the things you did. Not like, you know, somebody's like comments or the reaction or whatever. Because I've done the same. Like, I even mentioned this video, I've done the same. What else could you even do? And at least in the case of us back and forth, I need to remember that not everyone is used to the attention, the spotlight, or to be like used to be talking about. So I want to apologize both in my words and also in chat, as this is probably not what you want to randomly run into, or being painted in that light, especially being the focal point for a larger stepping stone topic of like people stalking people or whatever, when they just want to vent their frustrations. Now, I do stand you'd maybe agree, if not, that's okay. It was slightly a strange way to address it, but as mentioned, what else could you have done? Say for the Rima drama. Can't hold it against you, and I probably do the similar, have done the same. I have. So I want to apologize both in those things, but I will say when it comes to drama, as I'm new to this, it's a good learning opportunity to remember that people are real existing people like Comrade, with feelings and not just material for views or pushing a narrative. Now, I'm going to mess up. I probably will use some people for views or push narratives, but I don't want to do it evilly. You know, I don't want to do it obsessively. I don't want to make someone feel like they are literally some crazy psycho when they're not. And there's going to be times I'm going to mess up, and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to be this angel. But I want to sprinkle a little positivity and have accountability, and if I take it too far, do it. Like, this is my first step. And this might be one of those videos where people unsubscribe. This might be one of those videos that people think I'm crazy and messed up. But that's okay. Because if some of you guys go and follow Comrade, at the end of the day, I'm okay with that. Like, I just don't want to enter the VTubing world with me just being a dick. I'm preaching accountability, and I can't take it myself. You know? And yeah, like, I don't want to have him just be a stepping stone. This was a bad delivery. And I said, if it's all right with you, I'd love to make a follow-up video on this, which has been this video. Maybe it's like clickbait too, or it's a crazy VTuber Cinder attacked me. I got my first Twitter drama, whatever it might be. But I really enjoyed your communication on this. And these are the past few weeks. There's been so much talk about accountability, the value of communication, and being able to both agree to disagree or find middle ground in discussion. Because you know, my Google Docs I've seen that could just be solved with the DM, someone saying sorry, accountability. It's a lot. And I wouldn't mind discussing and giving you some grace as appreciation, which is why I'm here. As I was very happy with how you addressed this all with me, and this, although hard, is how a lot of people need to communicate in the VTubing world. Because if I'm using one video as a crazed person on how to go and like preach, I hope that I can use my own mistakes to preach with the VTubing world. Because seeing eye to eye and respecting both opinions on both ends is what humans should do. I think at the end of the day, you'd enjoy what I have to say. And hopefully Comrade enjoyed this video, if they sat here and watched it all. I totally get your thoughts. And like I said, sorry if it ruined or changed your day by any means. And I appreciate the accountability on it all, because they did, and keeping me grounded, which they did. So I started doing this all, I'm going to mess up. And so it's a blessing to have someone you guide me and call out respectfully. As like I said, I'd rather have a hater, quote unquote, that does it like this and listens to what I have to say and understands why, and also like getting it on both ends. So to me, I apologize to you, Comrade. And like I said, they even had some crazy nice responses saying they said it's surreal because it's a rare site. I feel like this should not be a rare site. Like, I don't think I'm anything special because you're doing the same thing I'm doing, dude. This person's doing the same thing as me. So if anything, you're also the rare site back. And this is why I wanted to even make this. I don't care how many people watch this video. Like, you did something nice. You came together and acted like a human being and treated me like a human instead of like a content creator. And this is cool. Like, you are a cool VTuber. This is nice to see. Like, truly, this is nice to see. And I agree, it's a nice fresh of breath air, and just, I do agree, the whole world's been crazy. And it's just very, very nice. They said, I'm not even being sarcastic, but I'm genuinely wishing that there were more people and VTubers like you in the VTubing scene. And I'm not yet a VTuber yet. I can't wait to show you guys my model pro. It's gonna be really cute. Because having someone who is willing to actually engage even a mixed disagreement is something that's becoming tragically rare. It's more than understandable if the other side is coming in with bad faith for the sole purpose of insulting you and ruining your day, in which case I myself either block them and move on, and when they show it, or talk smack right back depending on the mood. Same, like sometimes I'm in the mood to yap, and sometimes I'm going to ban and move on. Depends on the day and my spare time. I myself always try to give a fair shake to anyone who approaches me and try to engage in discussion with them. And I found plenty of great conversation partners even though we had disagreed on things, but I also found plenty who were just there to ruin my and everyone else's day. Maybe it's why so few are willing to engage in discussion nowadays, but as of by now, practically everyone had an experience with such things. And I agree. Especially VTubing, there's so many like bad things or bad first impressions, or you just hate them or don't want new friends because other friends try to steal viewers, money from you. It's a very toxic place, to be honest. But this is such a nice comment back. That's why I'm saying this is great. Overall, I fully agree with your sentiment, and as you said it, it was just scoured by the way I was included in it. And I agree. I apologize. Doesn't make me disagree with what you said, though, and I don't think I disagree with them. They were backed in a hard spot, and they had to do something. People really just need to take a step back from all the hostile tribalism and just chill. I agree. I myself spoke on this topic in a few of my posts, and if people actually do, I genuinely believe that everyone would benefit from a less hostile environment. For the Rima stuff, well, as I said, what else could I have done? I agree. Reaching on private would have gotten me blocked, so I skipped that step and did it publicly. Maybe there was a misunderstanding. Maybe she confused me with someone else. To me, who never actually interacted with her before, it all came out of nowhere. I haven't had any details and openly point out what I thought, what it might have been the reason for the treatment too. Would have loved to have talked it out with her and clear the air, but some people just assume the worst from the get-go. I've been accused by a bunch of her followers of me forming it for content, but well, I don't make any drama content. So I completely understand the content part. I actually don't make any drama-related content. I don't really either. I've been doing this for a few weeks, so I get it. I just play video games, talk about them, and movie, just hanging out. This inner drama is quite literally the only drama I've ever gotten actually invested in me too. I got hyperfixated in this stuff at all. Because I never would have imagine I make a 36-minute long video. That's like what's going on. And yeah, just got invested out of spite. Even then, I haven't made a single video related to the subject and only had a single stream around 4 months ago where extensively I talked about it with a friend. Basically just talked about it on Twitter and that's about it. So really, thank you as well. It's been nothing but a joy and a breath of fresh air. I really appreciate you taking the time to respond to me, and the conversation was absolutely delightful for me. Again, wish more VTubers would follow your example. I truly, if you guys sat through this entire long video, as long than probably expected, I probably could have summarized it more. I have never once in my life had a nicer, kinder hater, especially in the VTubing sphere. This is like when you have those Reddit threads where people agree, and it's like, you're normal? Yeah, I'm kind of you're normal too. Like I would have a beer with this guy. I think you guys understand, because I've been doing this content stuff for many years. I've been a partner for 13 years on Twitch, so I was streaming even before then. YouTuber for many years. Even this channel, I'm making all these YouTube videos and people are typing paragraphs discussing the drama. I have never once been more respected by a hater or someone disagreeing with me ever. And this is when I overstepped on in and I kind of stepped in their space and called out their drama. So you want to know what? Major just tip of the hat to you. If this is my introduction to the VTubing sphere and this is how people treat me, I'm astonished. I'm very impressed. And once again, accountability and communication is the biggest thing. And I think both these parts got hit very heavily between each other. So I have nothing but respect for this person. This was a great discourse. And like I said, if I had a hater that was even half as nice as you in the future, I would consider them a friend. Thank you. This is an eye-opening experience for me. I'm going to try to do good. I have no idea how long my opportunity here will be, or if anyone even sees. I'll probably have 20 people watch this video, because I'm not famous and I'm just riding the standard coattail. But this kind of gave me a little different perspective on all. So I think it's one of those things I'm happy happened now, not when I'm 50,000 subs in the future and I get absolutely canceled because I have an ego at that point. So thank you. Thank you very much, Comrade. This was a good discourse, and I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. If you guys did, subscribe if you guys are new. Definitely go check out all their socials down below. Make sure to include it on now. And just thank you. Thank you guys very much for watching. It's been a crazy last few weeks for me.